Hey friends, it's Akidearest, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Otaku Monthly Favorites. This is a series that I do on my channel where I talk about different anime, different manga, and different anime and otaku related things that I've been introduced to within that given month. It's like the one thing on this channel I can do that's actually anime related. That's dark. But there is a lot to unpack for this video, so without further ado, let's just go start off with some good manga. Manga? How dare I say that? Manga. We're getting into some manga. Okay. So not too long ago on this channel, I talked about a manga called Spy Family, which I highly recommend because it is a very cute and very funny manga about a family who tries to function as a normal family. But all the members are an assassin, a spy, and a psychic, and none of them tell each other of their double lives, but they try to still function to fit in with society, and so I would definitely recommend that one. Now with that being said, one of my friends came up to me and said, hey, since you like Spy Family, I know for a fact that you will like The Way of the House Husband, which is a manga that a lot of people have been hyping up for good reason because the anime just came out on Netflix. So I read The Way of the House Husband. I love the story. It is fucking hilarious. Okay, so basically this is a slice of life that follows this man who is a house husband who helps clean up the place, who prepares dinner, who does all these different tasks in order to assist his very successful career woman wife. Sounds weird. His wife, yes. Now the main thing that is thrown into the story is that our main character is actually an ex-Yakuza member who went by the infamous name, the Immortal Dragon. Now it's implied that he was very high up and very notoriously known in the Yakuza, but this story takes place after he has left, and since then there are a few mannerisms that have carried on to now his very humble life as a house husband. And as you can probably guess, the contrast between these two lifestyles tend to crash with one another, and that is what creates all the comedy in this manga that I love so much. Now I'll get into the anime later on in the video, but with the manga I highly recommend this because it is very synonymous with how I felt with the comedy in Spy Family, where there is these two very different contrasts trying to work out with one another. Now there's a few parts of the story where he goes out and comes across another Yakuza member who still views him as the Immortal Dragon, and he fights back with kindness and love, and that throws a lot of other Yakuza members off. While at the same time his wife also tries to assist him by trying to be as normal as possible because he comes off as this very intimidating person that no one can talk to when really he just wants to put on an apron and use his loyalty cards. Also forgot to mention that there is a live action of this which I have yet to go watch, but let me just take a moment here to appreciate The Way of the House Husband. Look, I get that Japan has like the stigma against anyone with tattoos being involved with a Yakuza of some sort, but come on, like it's 2021, we need to move on because look at this piece of art on this man. Okay, look, I get that he was part of the Yakuza, which really doesn't help my case here. But it is a piece of art on this man's chest. As you can probably guess, I'm just into people with tattoos because it just makes them look so much more intimidating and a lot more sexier, and knowing that this man just has a heart of gold just makes it more awesome. I would probably give this manga a good, maybe like an 8.5 out of 10. It's really funny. I've been having a good laugh at reading this, so you guys should definitely read that. And I have also been reading Ping Pong, but that manga is really long, so I'm gonna have to share that in the next Otaku Monthly Favorites. But without further ado, let's go get into some anime. Okay, so I might as well just continue with the same title for anime, which is The Way of the House Husband, but on Netflix. This has been very polarizing for a lot of people. Some people really like it, and some people are not so great with it because, well, to be honest, yes, this anime does feel like it's basically a colorized version of the manga where it's very slideshowy and it kind of throws some people off. But from what I've read and from what I've heard, it's intentional to make it funnier, and that's what the creator wanted. Again, this is just stuff that I've read online. And if that's true, I get it. And there were a few parts where I feel like that would have been perfect, but it would have been nice if there was more animation to it. I would have liked the comic stuff in addition. Like, for example, Fully Cooley does that with some of their episodes where they kind of put a manga-esque feeling to it. It's not even just that anime. There's a lot of other anime that do that, but this one, it's like 90% manga slideshow, and I think that's what has thrown a lot of people off. And so personally with me, when I go into an anime adaptation of a manga, I'm looking for that extra oomph. You know, like for Food Wars. Food Wars is a great manga, but the thing that I really like about the anime is that it's not just drawing the food, it's also adding like the movements of it, and yes, there's some fan service in there that may or may not be a part of it, but the animation has its own style of doing things, and I mean, that's kind of how any adaptation from a book should do. They should add something else, and I do feel like that the comics look was a little overdone with The Way of the House Husband, but I tried to get through with it and see if it would grow on me, and eventually I did get used to it, but I still stick with what I said before. I'm personally not the biggest fan with the direction that they went with in this, and again, it would have just been nice if there was more to it. Like, you know, show me the intimidation of the immortal dragon, like looking down at the person, when really it was just kind of like, okay, yeah, here he is again, being, you know, the immortal dragon. But it would have been nice if there was more emphasis on how the other characters are seeing the immortal dragon. That would have just been nice. That's the way I view it. But other than that, I think that you guys should still read it. And if you guys have no problem with the way that this is shot, definitely go watch it. The jokes are great. The voice acting is phenomenal. The voice of the immortal dragon and everyone else is spot on with what I had in my head. So that's a plus that I can give it. Now, as far as other things anime-esque go, some of you may have seen on my social media that I've been doing some cool collaborations and projects with Netflix anime. One of them was reminiscing on Attack on Titan, since we're nearing the end of the series now. And the other one was a reaction to A Whisker Away, which is a film that I personally really like on Netflix that you guys should also watch. I will link those videos down below if you guys want to see them. That's it for the anime and manga, and by the way, for anyone asking, I have not actually watched Jujutsu Kaisen, and that's the next on my list. I'm sorry, I've been super late on the train. That will happen next, I promise. But there has been other things that I've been doing this month, so without further ado, so this section is filled with figures, events, and other things that kind of fit within this realm of otaku culture that I think you guys will find interesting. So the first thing I want to show off is this Snorlax figure, and I saw this in the Pokemon Center in Ikebukuro, and it has Ash there sleeping on his belly, and it has Squirtle sleeping in the front, Jigglypuff on the side, and Bulbasaur also sleeping on the side as well. I've been looking at this for actually almost a month or so, and I've been wanting to have this for a while, and so my friends over at Itaikuji sent me this, which again, I'll link that down below if you guys want my sick-ass coupon code, Akidearest, for $5 off, or anything else off that website. But I have really been adoring a lot of Pokemon figures. I am a sucker for Pokemon merch, and you know, maybe it's pleb for me to say that I always will love the first gen stuff more than any other gen, but look at that. It's so vibrant, it's so colorful, and there's another one that I really want, which I think is like all of the water Pokemon that is like stacked up. I don't believe it's out yet, and I'm keeping my eyes on this one, so that's the next figure that I'm looking to get. So yeah, this is like the figure of the month, and I'm just gonna put this next to my other Pokemon figures until Kingdom Come. Sorry, this is actually a very Pokemon filled month. Usually it's Kingdom Hearts, but the next one is another Pokemon collaboration that I was gifted by Levi's. Yes, that Levi's with the jeans and everything. They did a collaboration with Pokemon that I actually saw over a month ago, but I actually got to meet with some of the people that work there, and they gifted me the Pokemon collaboration. They gave me like this cool denim jacket with Pikachu on the back. They gave me this Pikachu beanie. They pretty much just hooked me up with this really awesome Pokemon drip. Luckily, this collaboration is both in the US and in Japan. A lot of the collaborations I tend to show on here tend to be from a lot of Japanese companies that are just selling it in Japan. So sorry about that, but I'm doing you guys a solid here by showing you guys something that you can actually get if you want. The third thing was an event I went to, Pokemon related, and it was actually back in February. I forgot to share it in a previous video, but I went to a thing called the Pokemon Illumination, and it was like this giant garden that was all Pokemon themed, and you take like kind of, what do you call those things? Oh, I know, it's called
skill lift.
This event has actually been going on since late last year, and I believe it's ending either at the end of April or maybe end of May. And so it went on for a pretty long time. And so you go there and there's like a cool Pokemon Ferris wheel. There's a lot of Pokemon blow up stuff. And then there's like the Pokemon forest that leads you to the Pikachu garden kind of thing, where every like 5 or 10 minutes or so, there's like this amazing show that happens. And we went with a couple of friends of ours, and it was actually surprisingly really empty because I guess of Miss Rona Luna, but it's still going on, and I guess because the campaign is so long, we just went on a pretty lucky day where we essentially almost had the whole park to ourselves. When you come to Japan and you make friends here, you just tend to know of a lot of events that are going on. And the last thing on this list is another event that I went to with Prime One Studio. Prime One Studio is a company that makes extremely detailed, breathtaking statues of comics, of movies, of anime, and so I actually got to meet up with one of the people there, and they invited me to this event, and it was so cool just seeing all of these statues. Actually, Prime One Studio is the company where I bought the Berserk figure for Joey's birthday that you guys probably saw on his channel and on our Twitters. And so that was way before this event. I just knew about Prime One Studio already, and I actually met one of the staff at Pokemon Center, funny enough. It was completely by chance. They recognized me and they were like, hey, I actually work with Prime One Studio, and if you would like, why don't you go check out some of our statues at this event? And so I went, and oh my gosh, I was looking at stuff like the Boku no Hero one. I saw some more stuff for Fist of the North Star, Berserk, all of these amazing stuff that they just put so much love and detail in. So again, I will link you guys to Prime One Studio. They do ship overseas as well. They ship worldwide. I think that they even have a branch in California, I believe. So I'm doing you guys a solid. This isn't going to be like some Japan exclusive stuff. Mama Aki's actually going to be kind here and give you stuff that you guys can actually order for yourselves if you live abroad. But that was everything for this episode of Otaku Monthly Favorites, guys. Let me know what you thought of anything that I've shared in this video, all of which will be linked down below. If you are new to this series, feel free to go check out any more Otaku Monthly Favorite stuff for more recommendations. But I appreciate you guys for watching, and subscribe to my channel for more anime, otaku, and Japan related content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!